Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. It is Tuesday, and boy, do we have a juicy episode lined up for you lovely people. Man, hope you guys had a good weekend. I believe it was Easter weekend over that, so hope you guys had a good Easter weekend and all that good stuff. I know we did release an episode on Easter. Like I always say, man, it doesn't matter rain or shine or holiday, it doesn't matter. Your boy is always going to be releasing an episode. It's just the way we do it around here, right? You know, I've been doing this show for almost 3 years, and I have not let Christmas or New Year's or anything stop me from giving you guys an episode. I just haven't. That's just what I do. It's how I roll around here, and it's how we're going to continue to roll. I love you guys and appreciate all of the support you guys have been showing over the year so far. It has been a fast fucking year. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. The channel has grown exponentially, and it just makes me keep wanting to do it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was funny because I was actually in my Discord with some of my supporters and, you know, just talking about like, dude, there were a lot of times where I really wanted to give up, you know, on this podcast and just not do it anymore and stuff like that. And to go from like where I was then to where I am now is just tremendously crazy. And it's all thanks to you guys. I will not lie to you. It's one of those things where like when I see you guys comment and I see you guys come in and interact with the content and send in scenarios and all that stuff, that to me, it's not just numbers, you know. To me, I look at it like, dude, this is like real life, and that's why I try to connect with you guys as much as I possibly can. It's why I try to do live streams when I can. It's why I have the Discord, you know, and I keep it open to you guys so that way you guys can always talk to me about whatever and anything that you want. You know what I mean? I try to be that open book creator for a lot of people, and you know, some people take it and they enjoy it, and some people don't really care for it. And, you know, I don't care regardless. I just enjoy that you are interacting with the content and enjoying the content. That is something for me that is just tremendous, and it's amazing. And it's something I always have to thank you guys for. But enough of that. Let's get into today's scenario. Today's scenario is a juicy one. What was the reason you left in the middle of the date? Oh, baby. Let's see. I was on a work trip and I just wasn't feeling it, even a little bit. So I told her I needed to leave, but that it was great to meet her, and she said she also had to leave, and we left. I walked around the block and went back to the bar, and a couple minutes later, she also walked back to the bar. We shared an awkward look and laugh because neither of us were having a good time on our date, and it was kind of nice to realize it was mutual. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. I wonder why you went back. Like, if I'm having a bad time on a date, I'm not walking back. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I don't understand why you walk back, because that tells me that I think there, to some degree, to some level, there was some still interest. You know what I mean? Like, you still had some interest in there. You still had some love in there. Yeah, like either that or you just wanted to clap. Like, let's be real, you were on a business trip. You knew you wasn't gonna be there that long, so you were just like, hey, bro, let me just at least get some cheeks out this shit. You know, like, come on, man, it's cool. You ain't gotta lie to me. All right, what was the reason you left in the middle of a date? Drank 3/4 of the bottle of wine, then started ranting about his mother, sister, and ex-wife. I told him he sounded bitter, and I had a feeling he would be talking about me like that one day if I stayed. In his defense, he actually agreed with me. That's crazy. I love how people in general, I'm not just saying this is just women, but people in general, they, for some reason, will feel as if it's okay to just jump back into dating again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get why people feel that way. I like people who are serial daters. You know, they go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, and they think like that justifies it as like, oh no, I'm not being a hoe, or I'm not being this, or I'm not being that because I went from relationship to relationship, and it's just like, okay, but you are in no way healed. You are in no way like suitable for the partner that you're with, because all you're doing is carrying that trauma from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. And then on top of that, that snowball is building. So when you finally do, meet a person and you've had 6 other fucking relationships that failed miserably, and you think, 7 times the charm, 7 heaven, and this dude is just like immediately sees all the red flags and the bullshit, and I think that's the reason, that's what's wrong with, I think, a lot of women nowadays, because hear me out. A lot of women have a lot of choice. A lot of women know that they look at it like, I can go to relationship if I so choose to. And so I think that is what creates a lot of women that are serial daters. And so, or they're serial relationshipists. And so they go from relationship to relationship thinking like, this is the way to go. This is the way to do it. This is what it's about. I'm not like being a hoe and just fucking random dudes. I'm in relationships with these guys, but you're not taking the time to be by yourself, to reflect and look at it like, okay, this is what I did wrong in the relationship. Because look, you can sit there and say what's wrong about the other person all you want. But if you can't sit there and be like, this is what I did wrong in the relationship, you shouldn't be in another relationship. Why? Because you're not mature enough. You're just not. If you're too busy pointing the finger at the other person and you're not pointing that finger back at you every once in a while, you're just not ready to be in a relationship. And this is something that even I had to go through. I ain't gonna cap to you. I had to look at myself like that and be like, you know what? Yeah, I was wrong in that situation. You know what? Yes, that was my fault. You know what? I was a piece of shit in that situation. But if you don't take that time to do that, then you're just going to be going from relationship to relationship, just pointing the finger, thinking that you're not the problem, when in reality, it's like, well, you've had 7 relationships that didn't work out. Who's the common denominator? You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's, that, and I think that's what he was going through. I'm not saying she was going through that. I'm saying that's what he was going through. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. All right, on to our next one. What was the reason you left in the middle of a date? Bad breath, actual garbage mouth breath. That's crazy. I'm surprised that you even went on the date with him. Like, how did this dude ask you out on a date? You know what I mean? Like, how did he even ask you? You were just like, he's asking me out and he's got hot breath, but maybe he won't have hot breath on the date. You know what I mean? Like, what? What do you, girl? Come on, man. Like, bruh. Like, come on now. Because that's what it seems like. It seems like you knew he had hot breath, but you were just like, maybe, long day, you know what I mean? But by the time the date comes, he'll go ahead and have, good breath. Yeah, I think that's just what you were thinking. I don't know. But yeah, bruh, that's terrible. What was the reason you left in the middle of a date? Not the middle, but the beginning. I showed up at her apartment for our first date, and she's standing there with her mom and her siblings. They all started coming towards my car. I cracked my window and asked what's up, and she said she thought it would be nice if I took them all out for supper.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
No, she did not. After some heated words back and forth, I drove away and left them standing there and went and had a very nice meal by myself. The first date is supposed to be to get to know the other person. I learned all I needed to know about her in those 2 minutes, bruh. She was just like, oh, well, I thought you could just take us all out. Like, no. Who the fuck do you think you are, thinking I'm going to take you, your mom, and your siblings out for... No. The goddamn hubris is crazy, dude. The hubris is crazy. Like, there's no way in hell, and I mean no way in hell, would I ever... And I mean ever deal with a girl who either is trying to take her friend out on a date or take someone else out on the date. Like, no, bruh. No. Because my thing is if you can't trust me to just be out you and me, then there's no trust in this relationship. And we're starting off this relationship extremely poor. extremely poor. Like, there's just no reason we should be starting this relationship. And so that's why I look at it like, no, bruh. No. He definitely did the right thing on that one. That's crazy. All right, what was the reason you left in the middle of a date? I didn't know it was a date. A girl I knew who was crazy, but we were friends, invited me to a party at her family's house. I got there, and her parents seemed really, really happy to see me. It turned out she was telling them all about me being her new boyfriend. Her parents knew me, so they were super happy. She wasn't dating her normal crazy shitty guys. I figured out when we all sat down for food and her parents started talking about what our kids would look like. I faked a phone call emergency and walked 7 miles home. Damn, that's crazy. I guarantee you she was Mexican, and you want to know why I know she was Mexican is because I've been in this situation where I got invited to a little family baby shower shindig or whatever. Her cousin got pregnant. Okay, her cousin had got pregnant, and they were having a baby shower for her. And so she invited me, and I was like, all right, cool. What's up? I was like, hey, how you doing, baby? Oh, what's up? You know what I mean? And me and her were very, very close. Very, very close. We knew each other since high school, all that stuff. And, you know, I was always very comfortable with her, so I always called her baby and my love and all that kind of stuff. Like, we were very close like that. And so, you know, I would always do things for her. You know, oh, yeah, you need me to grab you? I was like, did you want something to drink? And she's like, yeah, I would. And so I grabbed me and her something to drink and whatever. And her grandma was just like, oh, you're such a good boyfriend. And she said it in Spanish, and I didn't know what she said. And so then I was like, what did she say? Because I don't know Spanish. And so I was like, what did she say? And she was like, oh, she just said that you're a really good guy. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. And so I'm thinking, you know, everything is copacetic, cool, and fun. Now, they were shucking corn, right, in the kitchen, because they were doing, you know, Dad was grilling up some corn and they were shucking it or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'll help, you know, I have no problem. So I'm shucking corn with her mom and her grandma is speaking in Spanish again. Great, I don't know what she's saying. And the mom is just like, oh, I didn't know you were her boyfriend. And I was like, huh? Her what? And she was like, yeah, that's what she just told me. You had went and got her a drink and you know, you called her love. And I was like, oh, no. We're just friends. Like, we've been friends forever. Like, and she's like, what? That's not what she tells me. She talks about you all the time and this and that. And I'm like, oh, shit. This was years ago. But I'm just like, bro. So, yeah, I guarantee she's Mexican, bro. Because the thing is when I had confronted her about it, she was just like, yeah, I had to say that because my family has been wondering, like, why I'm single, why I don't got a boyfriend, this and that. So I had to say that, you know, you were just kind of like a buffer to break the ice kind of thing. That's why I had to bring you around, because they didn't think you existed. And so, you know, when they finally saw you, they were like, oh, shit, this nigga's real. And I was like, ah, shit. So, you know, I played along because I was, you know, my friend. But, yeah, I guarantee she's Mexican, bro. Guarantee you. Because I don't know it. I don't know black girls to be doing that. I don't know white girls to be doing that. You know, I know Mexican girls to be doing that, though. Okay, what was the reason you left in the middle of a date? He was much older in person than he was in his pics. Oh. Told me I'd look sexy in his daughter's clothes. Nigga. Oh my God. I excused myself to the bathroom and practically ran out of the back of the restaurant. Good, bro. Come on, man. Why would you say some shit like that? All right, first off, why are you using, you know, younger pictures? It's funny how dudes actually do that shit. It's crazy to me. It's funny because even my mom, like back when she was on dating sites and stuff like that, she told me dudes would do that. And I'm like, that's mad fucking weird, bro. That is mad weird. Like, look, bro, if you're old and you're ugly, it is what it is, my guy. You're chopped and it sucks, you know what I mean? It is what it is, my guy. You're done. You're good. But to then sit there, because I'm sure she looked at it like, he looks a little older than he was in his pictures. But I'm sure she was like, it's fine because we've had conversations and I'm comfortable with him or whatever. But then you're over here like, oh, you would look great in my daughter's clothes. Nigga, you had me in the first half. You know what I mean? You had me in the first half and then you fucked it all up, bro. God damn. Glad you ran away, girl. I am so glad you ran away. All right, what was the reason you left in the middle of a date? We were in a restaurant when he rushed up because his wife was there. I didn't know he was married. Yo! Oh my God. Wow. Just wow, bro. You know what I mean? You get the low honor, my guy. That's crazy. That is crazy to be like out on a date with a girl and you literally bolt because you see your wife. That bitch put an air tag in your shit, bro. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. She knew where you were. You turned that location off and you thought you was copacetic. Nope. Damn, bro. Stupid. All right, what was the reason you left in the middle of a date? He was digging for gold mid-conversation and scratching his arms like he needed a fix or something. I asked for the bill when he went to the bathroom. The server already had it printed, the card with the card reader, because he had witnessed the train wreck from a distance. A W server guy, bro. Man, W fucking server guy, because, dude, if you're gonna be sitting there and just like picking your shit, you know, oh yeah, oh really? Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, bro, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Like, get a napkin, blow your nose. Yeah, I mean, if you got itches under your armpits or whatever, you know, do a little shoulder, you know, like try to do it incognitus a little bit, you know what I mean? Because all you look like you just stank. You know what I mean? Even if you don't, you just look like you're an oily, stinky dude. And no girl wants to be with an oily, stinky dude. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? That's crazy work. All right. What was the reason you left in the middle of the date? He yelled at me for having started eating after he was an hour too late. Not answering me on text or anything. Don't think he showed up. Oh, bruh. Come on, man.
Bruh.
I really don't get why it's so hard for people to just communicate that they're going to be late. I really don't. Like, there was a time I went on a date, right? And I was taking a girl out to a really fancy restaurant. I'm talking about fancy. Like, it was 5-star fancy. Okay? And I had to wait till she got off work. You know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, you know, I'll pick you up pretty much like maybe 30 minutes to an hour after you get off work. That way she can go home. She can unwind a little bit, shower, do what she got to do. Get all pretty. I immediately hit traffic because it was like rush hour traffic time, you know, that 5-6 o'clock. And I was like, fuck, we are not going to meet our reservation. I'm literally in traffic. I call the restaurant and I say, hey, I have a reservation at this time. I am going to be late. Is it okay if I push back the reservation or you guys can hold it for me? And she was like, okay, no problem. What is your name? I'll just hold the reservation for you. So that way, if it gets past your time, don't worry about it. Give us your name and the reservation will stay on hold. I'm like, cool, facts. Then I call her and I say, hey, I am in heavy ass fucking traffic. It's 5-6 o'clock. Everybody's going home. Didn't realize it was going to be this, you know, heavy a traffic. I am on my way though. I will be late. I don't know when I'm going to be there, but I'm going to be late. And she's like, no problem. Why is it so hard for people to do that? And then the thing is like, if you don't have plans to go out on a date with this person, why say yes in the first place? Because motherfuckers will sit there and be like, oh, well, what if they didn't have plans to go out with them? Then why did you say yes in the first place? You know what I mean? Why would you even do that to me? Get my hopes up. For what? Like, that shit pisses me off, man. And that's why I can't stand it, bro. Can't stand it at all. It's ridiculous to me. Oh, my God. Like, I truly feel, because everybody says, oh, dating is so hard, and oh, dating is so complicated, and oh, dating is this and it's that. I truly think people make dating hard on themselves. I really do. I think people make dating hard on themselves. I think people overcomplicate dating, and I think they look at like dating as this impossibly hard thing. And I think people perpetually make it hard on themselves so that way they can constantly stay in this like, oh my God, I'll never find anybody, and dating is super hard and everything is cooked. And it's just like, no, it's not. There are great people out there. There are people who, you know, do communicate and are great and stuff like that. It's just, you need to be able to find that kind of person. And I just hate that the majority of people fall into this whole like, oh yeah, if I'm late, fuck it, I'm not going to communicate. Oh, if I really want to go on a date with this person, I'm just going to pretend like I do. And it's like, bruh, you are just overcomplicating dating for no reason. For no fucking reason. When it's as simple as just communicating. Oh, would you like to go out on a date with me? No, I'm not really feeling it. Oh no, you're not somebody that I see romantically like that. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm going to be late. I do apologize. I don't know when I'm going to get to the restaurant. Eat without me. It's totally fine. Oh, I don't know. It's just, dude, people just overcomplicate dating so much in my eyes. And I truly feel like it's just the dumbest thing ever. And I see this a lot of times in a lot of women that I date where it's just like, I'll try to communicate with them and stuff like that. And the fact that I'm making it so easy on them, they get pissed off and frustrated over that because it's so easy. You know what I mean? And everything's moving so smooth. And they're like, why the fuck is he not complicating it? Why is he not making it a bigger issue than it is? Oh, this is so annoying. And then they, self-sabotage and then they ruin it. And I'm just like, dude, you didn't have to do this. But I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that. I don't know. All right, what was the reason you left in the middle of a date? Catfished me. I'd been fine with their appearance too, but don't fucking lie to me, facts. Look, my thing is, bro, I get it. Look, I'm not the most handsomest dude ever, all right? And even when I do come off as handsome to a woman, my height is sometimes something that throws them off. But I am never, and I mean ever, going to sit there and say that I am taller than I actually am. I don't get how dudes can go like they'll lie to a girl, right? They'll lie through their fucking teeth about everything and then get in a relationship with a girl thinking that she's still going to be blind to the lies. And it's like, bro, she's going to find out eventually. You don't think she's going to find out eventually? You don't think like there's going to come a point when she's going to want to see all the bullshit you've been talking about? You know what I mean? Like you don't think the rubber's not going to meet the road eventually? Like, what are we talking? That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, I don't really get that. I don't understand why it is that people, guys mainly, let's be real. Guys mainly, they'll sit there and they'll lie to a girl, get into a relationship with her, and then they wonder why old girl leaves them. It's like, nigga, because you lied and you don't have any of the things that you said you had. You know what I mean, bro? I don't know, man. Ay. All right, what was the reason you left in the middle of a date? He scratched his head and a snowfall of dandruff fluttered down onto our chili cheese fries. Oh, bruh.
Brother, ugh.
Dude, look, man, as a man who occasionally gets dandruff, you need some Head and Shoulders, my guy. All right, I'm just being real with you. As somebody who, deals with dandruff, dry scalp, all that kind of stuff, you do need to get some Head and Shoulders, my G. Like, you need to wash your hair more often than the normal person. Sorry to say it, because I'm one of those people. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person where I can't just shower without moisturizing my scalp. Like, I have to moisturize my scalp. If I don't moisturize my scalp, then my shit gets dry. If my shit gets dry, then I'm out here, snow falling on my shoulders. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro, that's bad. That's real bad. And the fact that it fell in the food too, oh, bruh, that's nasty, man. That's just nasty. All right. Okay, we're gonna do two. Actually, this will be the last one. What was the reason you left in the middle of a date? First real date with him. Nice restaurant, fairly expensive, and I wanted to order the fettuccine because I was craving it, and a small Caesar salad. The two cheapest choices on the menu, as it happened, but it was just what appealed to me at the moment. He kept insisting I order a very expensive steak instead, and that I was insulting him by ordering the least expensive thing, and I was making him look cheap to the waiter. Did I think he couldn't afford this date? and he was getting increasingly aggressive about it. So I stood up and left while he yelled at me. I wouldn't ever order anything over the price mid-line on a date because that's kind of rude. But in this case, I just happen to want a nice pasta, and if I get what I want and he gets a smaller bill, that feels like a win to me. Not a time to berate me. Bro, you are a queen, baby. Oh my God, give it up for this girl, man. God damn. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. She could have ordered the expensive steak. She could have got the crab and all that. She could have did all that, but she didn't. She didn't. She was like, you know what? I want me a little pasta right now. I want me a little thing. I ain't trying to go crazy with it. Oh my God, you're a queen. I love you. I love you. I love when girls do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm the type of dude where I look at it like, if you take a girl to a super fancy restaurant, you better be able to cover, you know, the bill of the both of you. You know what I mean? Regardless if she orders something expensive or she doesn't. You know what I mean? But the fact that, like, because the reason I take a girl to a super fancy restaurant is I'm going to gauge you. All right? I'm going to gauge you. Now, look, if you order the same thing as me, I'm not going to look at it like, oh, she's just trying to order something expensive. No. I look at it like, no, she probably didn't know what to get, so she just mirrored me. You know what I mean? She was just like, I don't want to get something, you know, too cheap. Or cheap, it may offend him or whatever. I don't want to get something too expensive, it might upset him, so I'm gonna get the same thing as him. I've had that happen with girls before. But my thing is I look at it like, if you egregiously get something, you know, too expensive, that to me shows me like, okay, you ain't really here for me, you're just here for the experience. But if you're the type of woman that is okay with going to a super fancy restaurant and getting the most mundane thing, to me, I would offer it to her like, no, you don't have to get the pasta. You could get something, you know what I mean? Like, they specialize in steaks. They specialize in this. Like, if you want that, you can get that if you want. But if she's like, no, I just want a pasta. That's not, you know, I'm craving that right now. I'd be like, all right, no, that's no problem. You know, next time we go, though, definitely get a steak. Or what I would do is I would, you know, cut my shit in half or something like that and give her a piece or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you make it work. That's crazy, the fact that homeboy got mad at that. I'm like, if anything, she looked at it like, I like you so much that I'm going to go out of my way to get something cheaper and to, you know, not look egregious in front of you. Like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, that, hey, man, W to her, though. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. W to her. Definite W to her, because there's a lot of girls that don't do that. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I've gone on some dates with some girls that, you know, they haven't done that, where, you know, they haven't been egregious about it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of girls are in that position of, like, they go to a really nice restaurant and they don't order the most expensive thing. But there are girls that do that. And the ones that do that, I'm just like, bro, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? You know? But, hey, that dude is terrible. That dude's fucking terrible, man. But that's going to go ahead and be that thread. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that thread. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Again, if you have been on a date where you just left in the fucking middle and you were like, man, fuck this dude, I'm gone. Or fuck this girl, I'm gone. Let me know down in the comments, all right? Let's get on into our announcements. So patreon.com/My The Asshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these lovely people did for today. Go ahead and get down there. The links are down in the description. All that good stuff. I am still trying to go through the monetization process for YouTube, so I'm going through that still, and we're trying to get that figured out. So hopefully we will get the YouTube membership up pretty soon. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for the continued support. You guys are the goats, and I appreciate you so very much, man. You guys really come out every week and show a lot of love, man. I do appreciate that so very much. All right, so keep downloading the episodes, as well as rating us 5 stars on your preferred platform. If you want to help out even more, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of that helps out tremendously, and it is a huge help. I love you guys and appreciate you so much. Without further ado, let's get into the scenarios. Our first one is, never dated and not sure if I even want to. Okay. For context, I'm a straight male in my mid-20s who has never been in a relationship, dated, had sex, etc. For a laundry list of reasons, I probably will never have them. Relatively regular, I will go through periods of feeling lonely and down over having missed out on experiences nearly everyone else my age has had. However, I've struggled to determine if it's a genuine desire to do these, or the result of combination of external pressure from society at large and from people I know, coupled with an ego-driven desire for validation that I am not a completely undesirable loser. The reasons I think it might be the latter are I've never been able to form close relationships with anyone. I've never had close friends, only situational friends and acquaintances, and not very many at that. I've always felt like an outsider, even in my family. I've never met a woman who I connect with, have chemistry with, or have anything in common with. Even on a platonic level, never had a female friend in the past. I've only ever been attracted to women on a physical level. I dislike meeting new people, given that day or something is all about meeting new people. Oh, given that nowadays it's all about meeting new people. Okay. I doubt I'd find it enjoyable. I'm too stubborn to affect significant change to either my environment or my personality. Since nothing has happened by now in my current state, I doubt it ever will. Had anybody had any advice in resolving similar internal contradictions? I think it's more likely that I somehow accept being single forever, as I'm never going to go through the magnitude of change required to ever have a dating life or a relationship. Okay, see, you're thinking about this all wrong. You really are. Because look, dude, we live in the age of connectivity. You know what I mean? We're connected with people all over the world. And you're telling me that people all over the world, you can't find one person that you connect with and that could be your best friend and that could be somebody. And I'm not even talking about a girl. I'm talking about a dude. Even a dude, somebody that, gets along with you. You guys are having fun. You guys are funny. Like I have Michael on the Sunday shows. That dude is my best friend. He's been my best friend for 20 years. I don't have many friends. I have like 2 solid fucking friends. And everybody else is just kind of friends of friends or their, friend group, acquaintance, whatever. I have 2 solid friends though. And my thing is I'm the same way. I don't like talking to people. I don't like new people and all that kind of stuff. But I do understand that having social skills is really good when dealing with other matters in your life. You know what I mean? Having good social skills allows you to network when you're doing business. It allows you to be a better leader. It allows you to have certain qualities when it is, you are dealing with situations, whether it may be your job, it may be getting a job, it doesn't matter. Like having these kind of social skills are good, and building these social skills is good. Like you don't have to be friends with the people that you talk to, but the fact that you are talking to people is a good skill within itself. Again, you don't have to go out and make it your mission to go talk to people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you are out, say you're out at the grocery store, I do this all the time. When I'm at the grocery store, I walk around, I do my grocery shopping, and if me and somebody, it doesn't matter if it's a girl, guy, little kid, doesn't matter. If we're looking at the same thing, I'll be like, oh, do you like that? I've never tried that before, you know what I mean? You just spark up a conversation. And you just have that short conversation. Oh, okay, well, hey, I'm glad to have your input. You know what I mean? You have a good day. And you move on with yourself. Having social skills is good. Having social skills is a good thing. Again, you don't need them to be your friend. You don't need them to be people that, you talk to every day or text all the time. No, you just talk to them. You enjoy having these conversations back and forth, in and out. And being able to do that, I think you'll be able to be a little more confident and more comfortable talking to people in general. And then when you do, it kind of opens you up to finding people who do then have your same interests, because I guarantee you there are people that have your same interests. You're not special. You're not a one of one. You're not somebody that, only likes these certain things. You're just not that. Like me, I'm not the only one, who's trying to make a podcast. I'm not the only one who gives this kind of advice. I'm not the only one that does these things. I'm just not. I'm probably the only one who does read-alongs of spicy books, but, I digress. It's one of those things where it's like, look, for you need to understand that when you are dealing with people, having people skills is good because it translates to other things in your life. It's not just dealing with people. It's not just friendships. It's not just relationships. Yes, these help, but it's not just these things. You know what I mean? And so when you're dealing with these things, I would give the advice of like, talk to people. You know what I mean? Don't talk to them in the hopes of having a friendship. Don't talk to them in the hopes of, something happening. Just have a conversation. And when you walk away from the conversation, make it short and sweet. Don't make it long. Don't drag it out. None of that stuff. The moment you guys talk about something, you talk about it, and then you in the conversation, it was good to talk to you, and you move on. Because again, that's going to put you in a mindset where you're going to be like, wow, it is easy to talk to people. People aren't as shitty as, they come out to be. Same thing with online. You know what I mean? When you're playing video games online and stuff like that, talk to people. You know what I mean? Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Like, you don't got to be these motherfuckers' friends. You just don't. You just talk to them, And then once you've built that repertoire and you found people that do have the same interests as you, and you realize, oh, wow, I'm not alone, in my interests and my thought processes. Then you think to yourself, okay, wow. And it opens up your mind to then talking to other women and stuff like that. And if I'm being real with you, bro, women, it's not about finding a woman that you have the most in common with. That is a fallacy. A lot of people sit there and they think that you have to have so much in common with your partner. No, you don't. The best relationships are the relationships where you're open-minded and you have a lot of differences. Reason being is because when you have a lot of differences in your relationship, it allows you to see things from other perspectives. It allows you to kind of be open-minded to more things. It allows you to be a more well-rounded person because you understand the other side. You don't let it change you. I'm not saying that. You're not supposed to like change just because this person says that. No, you're open-minded to it. Like, oh yeah, I believe in this, but you believe in that. But I'm open-minded to understanding why it is you believe what you believe. Okay, well, I can see that. That's fine. I personally don't believe that, but I get why you do. You know what I mean? And I think those type of relationships are the best because you then bring out the best in each other by highlighting the things that maybe you wouldn't be keen to. And then you open yourself up to it. Like me, I'm a shut-in, like a motherfucker. I'm a shut-in. I love being at home. I don't like getting out, none of that stuff. But when I have a girlfriend, it changes that about me. I then look at it like, no, I want to be out more. I want to go do stuff. I want to do this. I want to do that. Yes, I'm screaming in my head, I wish I was at home right now, 100%. But I also know that, like, I want to do stuff with her. I want to go out and experience things. And you know what I mean? I did this by myself once. I'd love to do it with a partner. You know what I mean? It just makes you more open-minded to a lot of different things. And it makes you feel like, wow, okay, I like this. I like the fact that she gets me out of my shell a little bit. I like the fact that, she kind of opens me up and her friends are now my friends. And, you know what I mean? I don't agree with this friend, but I like this friend. You know what I mean? Like you open yourself up to that. And I think people are so like internet locked where they rather just communicate through a screen versus actually putting themselves out there and at least just having social skills, and that's what I think you need to do. You need to just have those basic social skills and just talk to people. You know what I mean? And once you do that, you build it more, and then you find some friends that are interested in the same things you are. And then it opens you up to being a little more open-minded because now you have friends that see things differently than you. Because I love my friends like that. I have a friend at work. He and I butt heads all the time. All the time. We butt heads on race and religion and just all kinds of stuff. And I love it because I'm open-minded to what he's saying. You know what I mean? I'm open-minded to what he's saying and how he feels and stuff like that. Even though I don't agree with it, I am open-minded to his points of view, you know, and he's a little older than me too. I think he's like 6 years older than me. And so it's one of those things where it's just like his point of view versus my point of view. And we kind of just come together on it. And I love having conversations with him. Love it. He's a great dude. And so that's why for me, I look at it like you have to kind of be able to have that kind of open-mindedness and discourse. You know what I mean? Because when you have that open-mindedness and that discourse with other people, it does expand your mind because you understand why people are the way they are and why they like the things that they like, even if you don't like it. You know what I mean? So hopefully you take that advice. Hopefully that's something you can, you know, maybe learn off a little bit. But that's my 2 cents on it. All right, on to our next one. What do I do? My girlfriend is going to the movies alone with a guy who used to hit on her. Am I overthinking this?
She belongs to the streets.
Nah, man, you're not overthinking this at all. The fuck is she doing with a dude that used to hit on her? Like, of course homeboy still likes her, bruh. Of course. But see what I think she's doing? I think she monkey branching, man. I think y'all probably had some problems and issues in your relationship, and you know she's like, "Ooh, I think I'm gonna go ahead and monkey branch on over here because I don't know about you." You know, we'll see though. We'll see. Okay. I need some outside perspective on this because I don't know if I'm overthinking or if this is actually weird. So my girlfriend just finished her exams. Mine are still going on. And she was telling me about all her plans, like where she's going, who she's meeting, etc. Mostly it's her friends, which is completely fine. But then she mentioned one day she's going to watch a movie alone with a guy. And the thing is, this isn't just some random friend. This guy has hit on her before. That's what's confusing me. I don't want to jump to conclusions or assume anything, but at the same time, I don't really understand why she would go out alone with someone who has shown interest in her like that. At the same time, I don't want to be that boyfriend who questions everything or comes across as controlling. I haven't said anything to her about it yet because I don't want to restrict her or make it seem like I don't trust her. But intently, it's really bothering me. I'm stuck between trusting her and not making a big deal out of it versus feeling like this is a boundary I'm uncomfortable with. I don't even know how to bring this up without sounding insecure or controlling. Has anyone ever been in a similar situation? Is this something I should talk to her about, or should I just let it go? No, you should definitely talk to her about it. Look, dude. Look, you're not going to do this, and I already know, but I'm just going to give the advice anyway. You need to be willing to lose her. Okay? As harsh as that sounds, it's the truth. You need to be willing to lose her. And this is the reason why I say you need to be willing to lose her. You need to talk to her and let her know, hey, I don't want you going out with this guy. I don't. And she's going to be like, what? Why? It's like, because this is a boundary of mine. I do not want you out alone with another guy. Now, if this was a friend group thing, I would let it go. But no, this is a one-on-one, you and a guy. I don't want you doing that. All right? And if she's like, oh, you're being insecure and you're being this and that, and okay. Well, then if you want to do this, then there's no need for us to be in a relationship. If you're willing to so easily overstep my boundary like that, then we don't need to be in this relationship. Okay? If you want to do single girl shit, you can go be a single girl. All right? I'm not telling you not to go. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know that this is my boundary. That's what I'm doing. I am saying that you out with this other guy is a boundary. All right? And that is my boundary. I don't want you going out because, like I said, I'm not saying that I don't want you to go out with this dude. If you, him, and some friends were going out, I would have no problem with that. That's why I say that's not the issue. You hanging out with him is not the issue. It's the fact that you're hanging out alone with him is the issue. And that is a boundary of mine. So the fact that, again, you are hanging out alone, that is a boundary of mine that I don't want. Now, let's flip the script. If I was hanging out with a girlfriend, you know what I mean? And she used to like me and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, nah, babe, we're just hanging out. You wouldn't sit there and fucking believe me. You know you wouldn't. And I guarantee you she would talk to you about it. She would sit there and be like, this is a boundary of mine, and if you don't abide by that boundary, then I'm breaking up with you. She would have no problem breaking up with you. And that's what I don't get about a lot of dudes is like their girl is willing to break up with them and walk away from them because their boundaries are being encroached on. But a guy will sit there and be like, oh, I don't want to be controlling. Oh, I don't want to put boundaries because then, she's going to say that I'm this and that. Oh, you need to be willing to lose her. And that's the thing. Men in this world, all we have is the ability to walk away. That's it. We can't make a woman do anything. We can't make a woman do anything. The only thing that we can do is walk away from them. And you need to be willing to walk away from her. Because look, dude, if you sit there and you don't say anything, all that's going to happen is, say she doesn't like this guy. Say nothing happens from this, right? And you're like, oh, I'm glad I didn't say anything. Oh, we're good. And then it's another guy. But you don't know that she likes this guy. And she's just like, I fucking hate this dude. I can't stand him. He is so annoying. Like, like he and I are going to go hang out at this fair or whatever. You know what I mean? I'll be back at like 10 p.m. and blah, blah, blah. And then they go to the fair. They're holding hands and kissing and doing all that stuff. And you don't even know. You don't even know. And then out of nowhere, like my boy Michael says, that summer evening, you know what I mean? She busts out a summer evening on you, and out of nowhere, she handing you a glass of lemonade, talking about, it's over. I'm done with you. And you're sitting there just like, what? Huh? What? What? You know what I mean? Like, bro, again, for that to not happen, you need to put your foot down and be willing to lose her. She can call you insecure and she can call you this and controlling and that, blah, blah, blah. She can call you whatever she wants. But you have a boundary and you put your foot down and you set that boundary. Because I guarantee you, she would do that. She would sit there and put her boundary down and do all that. You know what I mean? She would put her boundary down, and if you didn't abide by that, she would leave you. Like, hands down. It is what it is, bro. So no. Do not, and I mean do not, let her just go on these hangouts and all that kind of stuff. If it's with her friend group, sure. You know what I mean? And if it's with her friend group, I don't know why you're not going with her. Let's be real. Come on now. But I digress. If it's a friend group thing, sure, whatever. You know what I mean? If you're comfortable with the friend group aspect of it, cool. But that one-on-one shit, nah, man, you need to put your foot down on that. But that again is up to you. I really don't think you're gonna do that, because I think you're the type of guy that's not willing to lose her. You're going to sit there and do everything you can to try to save this relationship and try to save your relationship with her. So it is what it is, bro. You do you, man. All right, let me know what you think about that one in the comments. All right, let's get into our last scenario. This is going to be a bit of a shorter episode for today. I got a lot to do today, so. Okay. Coworker trying to get my wife to cheat. Oh, shit. My wife is 30. We moved from Ohio to, I think it's New England, Pennsylvania, 9 months ago. Coworkers of mine, of my wife, invited us to go out to a club with them. The club is part of the casino complex, so it's a really nice place. We got there, and I was introduced to everyone. My wife is there, my wife is their boss. We got drinks and one of the tall round tables with 3 bar stools. My wife and her friends went out on the dance floor. Before she left, she introduced me to this black man named Charles. He sat down and told me his life story. He is 54, 6'5", and in really good shape. He told me he came to this country from Africa when he was 18 on a track and field scholarship. He told me that his wife was killed in a car accident 2 years ago. My wife and friend came back for another drink and couldn't help but notice that he was looking my wife up and down while he was standing next to her friend. They went back to the dance floor and we continued talking. He was watching her dance and he said to me that he wished he knew how to dance. He said he would like to dance with her. A little while later, He went to the men's room. My wife and her friend came back to the table and sat down and ordered more drinks. When Charles came back, he stood between me and my wife's friend, and we were talking. I noticed my wife looking at his crotch. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. She was like, God damn. That anaconda don't. Ooh, baby. As we were talking, I noticed my wife looking at his crotch. When he turned, I looked down. That's when I saw a very large bulge in the front of his pants. Oh, shit, man. Oh, damn. I think that, okay, I guess that's the end of the story. Okay. Wow. I mean, look, bro. That's tough. That's tough, bro. I mean, I don't really know what to say, if I'm being real with you. I don't know what to say to this one, just off the simple fact that, like, you know, your wife had the jungle fever, my guy. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, shit. And then on top of that, the drinks is mixing. Now, look, you made it seem like he was the one that was, like, trying to talk her into it. No, I think it was the wife, bro. If I'm being real with you, you know, I think it was the wife that was in that situation of like, ooh, I'm trying to, yeah, I mean, like, let's be real. Now, look, I don't think that was maybe an inadequacy on your end. Maybe, I don't know, but obviously you didn't tell me that you guys had any problems in the relationship. You guys might have, and you left that out. I don't know. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, it could have been the alcohol talking, but at the same time, it could be the fact that she looks at it like, you know, my man ain't really doing it like that, you know, and she probably makes more money than you or something like that. There's something in there that kind of makes her feel like you are inadequate. And she looks at it like, man, I'm just trying to get me some African dick. Now, let's be real, bro. Let's be real. I really think that there's something going on in your relationship. There's something going on, you know, where she looks at it like, yeah, my dude is inadequate. And I think she's the one kind of pursuing him. And he's just, you know, reciprocating. You know what I mean? He's just reciprocating what she putting down. He like, oh, this is what you putting down? All right. I'll put it down too. What's up? And so, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because, like, obviously the thing is you asked, you know, coworker trying to get my wife to cheat. I don't know, man. I think she's the one that's trying to do the cheating. If you ask me, okay? If you ask me, I think she's the one that's trying to do the cheating, okay? I don't think it's him. I think he just looks at it like, yeah, she fine as fuck. I take that down. You know? Yeah. And if he does hit, oh, you're cooked, bro. Yeah, if he does hit, bro, you're cooked. He's cooked. Oh, bro, he gonna stretch your girl out. You know what I mean? And she's just gonna be like, nah, man, I don't feel nothing no more, bro. Oh, cooked. Cooked, bro. I don't know, man. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments, as well as everything that we've gone over today, the thread, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys for coming out, listening to the episode, all that good stuff. I will see you guys on Thursday for our book episode. I forgot what chapters we're at. We're probably like 33, 34, somewhere around there. We're almost done with the book, though. I do got some good books lined up for you guys. I was actually talking to some of my people in my Discord about that. So hopefully, you know what I mean, we got some good books for you. So I love you guys. I appreciate you all. I will see you guys on Thursday for more of Beautiful Venom. And yeah, peace.